Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. I want to do a video on deep scratch removal. And I'm using the toilet cam as well. Now, let me show you the deep scratches. So there's a little cluster of deep scratches here on this car. They probably don't look too bad on this toilet cam on the GoPro, but trust me, these are bad ones. And I had exactly the same cluster of scratches on the M140i, and this is the rear passenger door, so I reckon it's got something to do with little kiddies getting in there, you know, your kids climbing in the back and scratching the door handle with their hands. They try and open it, I reckon. It's like a ring or something. I bet you that's what it is. I've just figured it out. When you're really young, you try and pull these handles and they're quite hard to pull. And what my kid does is she puts one hand there and then opens it with the other hand. So she gets more strength by putting one hand on the panel. And I bet they had a little ring on or something like that. And that's what all those little marks up and down are. There we go, look, like bloody, call it forensics detailing. I figured out what it is. That would be my bet. Anyway, let's talk about how we're going to get these out. So, rotary polisher, obviously you have the ability with the rotary polisher to cut. Here I'm using the Flex PE8-4 mini rotary, so it has the little on and off switch that it has to have, I think, by law. I remember when I first sort of reviewed these, and I remember saying, I don't like it. Why do they use these budget switches on all these tiny machines? Why can't they put a proper trigger and get the ergonomics right? Something to do with law, I think, and certain size tools. You have to have this latch switch, I believe. Put in the comments if you know more about those. But the ergonomics of this tool are absolutely fine, really good. Anyway, what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be hitting this area here with some polish and the rotary polisher, and we're going to be hitting it quite hard. Okay, well I'm going to be hitting it quite hard, so I'm going to be cranking up the rotary a little bit higher, and I'm just going to be doing a few cutting passes over this to lower it down. And also I do not think I'm going to be able to ever remove all of these deep scratches. I might actually, you know what, these will actually come out. So my aim for this video is to remove all of them, apart from this short one here, which definitely isn't going to come out, but we're going to make it virtually invisible. So let's get some polish going. And this is where the rotary is good. And I'm also working at a speed on this machine which is probably going to introduce buffer trails. So this area will need a little bit more working, refining later on. Okay, so I have to remember this is an area of concern. Actually, I don't really have to remember because I'm going to be refining the whole car very thoroughly anyway, so it will get hit, but I will remember that I need to look for this buffer trail. Okay, I'm going to pick this up while the machine's not running. I'm going to just work it in at speed 1. And now the risk of splattering and slinging out is gone. Okay, and I've got a little film of polish over my area, and I'm just going to put my speed up to just over 3, which will introduce heat, and I'm going to polish this out. I'm using a bit of pressure. That is enough. And guys, well, there was a little bit of sling there, but that, not much, but that is part of using the rotary. Just perhaps a little bit too much polish. Even if I collect it up, there's risk of slinging product around with the rotary or with other machines. What I do when I'm polishing as well is I will always have a wet cloth. So once I've overused one cloth for wiping off the polish, I will go and dunk that cloth in water and just put them in a pile to be washed. That stops all the, I don't know, it just stops the polish drying out in there. But it also means that while I'm working, if I do sling, I can just give that a quick wipe like that and it's gone. It's picked it all up. That's just how I like to do it. If you're hitting it with your clean cloth, you know, on the glass and stuff, you're just going to smear it all around and stuff like that. So just a wet cloth and it'll pick it up. It'll also pick up any kind of dust from the polish that's flung around. So that's a good little tip actually. So there we go. Now in terms of how our scratches are looking, guys, let's get the light. Now there is no way, first thing, there is no way you'll just take scratches out like with compounding that quickly. But let's have a look at them so you can see what it's actually done. And they were quite deep scratches. They are all there. You can see them there. That's about the best view I can give you of them. They are well on their way to coming out. And in fact, if I hit those again, that big deep one up there is not going to come out all the way, but that will improve. If I hit those again, they are going to be virtually gone. In fact, 3 passes and that would probably do me. You could wet sand these with some, you know, if you're polishing a car, you could soak some P3000 so you don't have to do this. But I think that introduces risks when you're starting of, you know, if you know the sanding marks can be a little bit misleading. You can polish them, and if you don't inspect properly, because you're also cramming in the oils, you can't see the sanding marks, and then later on, you know, when the oils blow out of the kind of gaps and stuff, the sanding marks can come back and you might see them later on. So there's some things, it's not hard, is there, but there's some risks around wet sanding. But I think it's a very good tip to have some P3000 soaked if you're polishing a car on a little block. Probably the quickest way to get from A to B. Anyway, we're going to go again on that section. It's another thing, these big bottles, it's a bit of a pain because you have to get the polish. If you don't get the polish all down to the bottom, it farts when you put it on the thing. And but if you do this to hurl it down, it can come out the bottom like tomato ketchup. The little bottles are much better to work with. There we go. See that fart, the little fart. It's like me, getting old and can't stop farting. So we're going to go again, guys. I'm just going to work that polish film out so I don't sling. Should have probably polished around this bit as well. But we're not doing that, are we? The video's on just kind of correcting, saved by the video ploy. So it would be better, I think, to just do straight sets of compounding around the whole lot as well. But anyway, back to this thing. Here we go. So I'm cranking the speed up a little bit. This is going to be quite fast. Okay. It's one of the coolest things about this Koch Chemie H8. It's the finish of it. Even when you're working it on a rotary, it gives you such a nice finish for the amount of cut you get off it as well. It is an absolute miracle compound. It is just awesome. It really is. And that, guys, there is the patch right there, okay? There is the patch, because I know there's the big chunk up there, which I haven't really been working, but that big chunk is kind of virtually disappeared. And this big patch of scratches, it's all, for all intensive purposes, it is gone, but I can just see It's gone. It's gone. That's it. No more compounding. Because when I come back over here and do my final pass with the 3401 and the M3 later on, that is just going to tidy up. There is, you won't even be able to see it on the camera, but there's a couple of ones that were a bit deeper where I can just see the sort of rounded edge, sort of faint lines where it's not completely gone. But that's good enough for me, and that will get taken out with the final polish. So now I'm ready to carry on compounding this particular section. I'm using the mini polisher for this top section, and then I'll take the main rotary here and do these bottom sections, and then I've got to move on to there. So all good, guys. That's just showing you how I would deal with a little cluster of deep scratches very rapidly. It just required an additional dedicated set of compounding, a little bit faster and a little bit more aggressive on the mini rotary. Thank you for watching. See you soon on the Forensics Detailing channel. Bye for now.
Holding on to what I knew, but the moment's gone. Where was I when you